In the quiet solitude of reflective evenings, a single memory can weigh upon the mind with an intensity that challenges the boundaries of time and emotion. I remember a day that began like any other but soon unfurled into a sequence of moments that now define the contours of my existence. The gentle interplay of light and shadow, the intricacies of mundane gestures, and the unspoken words exchanged with the confines of my emotions coalesced into a memory so delicate and profound that its influence continues to shape every decision and reflection I experience. It began with a soft sigh of the wind, a subtle herald of change. I found myself standing at the crossroads of my past and future, where every step felt laced with the reverberations of what had been. In that instance, the universe seemed to pause in a careful contemplation of the inevitable interplay between fate and free will. Each delicate moment was captured like a drop of dew. The day was ordinary in its cadence, yet I soon realized that the seemingly trivial events had woven together an intricate tapestry of experience, passion, regret, and hope. I stepped outside into the cool embrace of early morning. The air was crisp, carrying a mixture of warmth from the rising sun with the lingering remnants of night. The sky's palette transitioned softly, painting a scene as clear as the emotions stirring within me. An inexplicable heaviness wrapped around my heart. A reminder that, sometimes, a fleeting moment can whisper eternal truths. At a park bench nestled in the heart of a bustling yet strangely understated neighborhood, I sat to quiet my thoughts. The surroundings were familiar but touched by an almost magical serenity. The laughter of children playing in the distance, the rustle of leaves conversing with the wind, and the subtle murmur of a nearby stream all seemed orchestrated to accentuate the tumult of my inner world. As I sat there, lost in the interplay of my memories, I recalled a singular event that had altered the trajectory of my life. It was then that I recognized that the narrative of my existence was not solely built by monumental achievements or pivotal failures, but by the accumulation of countless subtle, often overlooked moments that left a permanent imprint on my soul. In that memory, I was standing before a door that symbolized opportunity and uncertainty. The weight of anticipation, mingled with cautious optimism, had blurred the lines between anxiety and excitement. I recall the way my hands trembled ever so slightly as they reached for the cold, metallic knob, a gesture laden with the gravity of irrevocable change. The texture of the knob, the scent of the air, and the unnoticed hum of the city had all conspired to capture a fragment of time so potent that it would echo through the corridors of my mind in the years to come. Every detail of that moment reveals itself with each recollection. The memory is imbued with a bittersweet quality, a sense of loss intertwined with the acknowledgement of growth. It serves as a reminder that pain and regret are often the fertile grounds from which our deepest understanding of ourselves emerges. In retrospect, what might have been dismissed as a brief encounter or an inconsequential instance has since been recognized as the fulcrum upon which significant aspects of my life pivoted. The realization came gradually, as if an elusive mosaic of scattered emotions had finally merged into one cohesive image, the picture of how one experience can redefine the framework of our identity. This memory, though cloaked in the gentle hues of nostalgia, carries with it the unmistakable sting of regret as well. It is impossible to distill such recollections without acknowledging the sorrow that accompanies the awareness of what might have transpired differently. Regret, in its quiet yet persistent manner, reminds us of the fragility of moments and the irrevocable nature of time. I began to see that regret need not serve solely as an instrument of self-reproach or lingering remorse. Instead, it might also act as a catalyst for introspection and growth. The beauty of memory lies not just in its rarity but in its capacity to provoke understanding, urging us to look inward and embrace both our imperfections and our strengths. As I continued to inhabit the layers of that one memory, the scene unfolded in a splendor of emotions, a mixture of tenderness, yearning, and the inexorable pull of destiny. The streets, once filled with the hurried clamor of daily routines, transformed into a quiet sanctuary where past moments emerged with uncanny clarity. It was during these reflective periods that I began to appreciate the nuances of the human experience, the way a single smile, a fleeting touch, or an unintentional glance could etch a memory so deep that it influenced decisions I would make later in life. There exists a peculiar truth in the way our minds selectively retain certain sensations and experiences, filtering the chaos of life into a mosaic of the most impactful moments. The experience served as a mirror to my innermost thoughts, revealing vulnerabilities and strengths alike. I noticed how every emotion, even one that resonated with sadness, was a testament to the richness of my existence. That day on the park bench, under the gentle gaze of a dawning light, I realized that every memory, no matter how seemingly insignificant, carries a message. It is a message of resilience, of the spirit's capacity to transform pain into wisdom. The emotional weight of that single memory did not simply define a past occurrence. It became a reference point for all future journeys. A silent guide that whispered the lessons of perseverance and hope. In the weeks and months that followed, I found myself revisiting that memory with increasing frequency. It was as if the universe had imprinted it upon my soul, demanding that I confront the complexities of my own humanity. Each return to that cherished moment was an act of introspection, a pursuit of understanding my inner self and deciphering the latent messages encoded within the layers of recollection. The more I delved into that memory, the more I uncovered about the interplay between circumstance, choice, and consequence. It was a process of continual unraveling, a gentle peeling away of the layers that had accumulated over time, revealing insights that had once been blurred by the passage of days and years. In this long and introspective journey, I learned that the significance of a memory is not measured by its duration or the extent of the events it encompasses, but by the impact it leaves on our hearts and minds. The memory in question, seemingly modest in its presentation, became a beacon of emotional clarity during moments of uncertainty. It taught me the profound lesson that every experience, no matter how ephemeral it may seem, has the power to transform who we are and the choices we ultimately make. This revelation was both liberating and humbling, affirming that life is not a series of isolated incidents but a continuum of moments that interconnect to form the entirety of our being. I began to explore the intrinsic value of nostalgia, a bittersweet emotion that binds the past to the present. Nostalgia, with its tender embrace, is a complex emotion that can evoke images of warmth, joy, and even sorrow. Yet, far from being a mere longing for what has been lost, it is also a celebration of what has contributed to our growth. Each memory, marked by its unique blend of light and shadow, is a fragment of our personal history. The memory that had unsettled and inspired me simultaneously symbolized a time when every emotion was experienced in high definition, a time when the promise of the future shimmered with uncertainty and possibility. While the memory carried feelings of regret, it also instilled within me the bravery to face the future with an open heart. Every moment of self-doubt and every pang of sorrow was tinged with the awareness that these feelings were essential components of my journey. I recognize that the emotional weight of a memory does not trap us in the past. Rather, it equips us with the wisdom to navigate new challenges with heightened sensitivity and insight. It allowed me to embrace my vulnerabilities, transforming them into strengths that guide my actions and decisions. In that sense, the memory was less about what had been lost and more about what had been gained, a deep understanding of the complexities of love, loss, and the inexorable march of time. As the seasons changed and life moved forward, the echoes of that memory continued to inform my perspective. On every new experience, I noticed that even in the routines of daily life, the mundane tasks and subtle interactions, the vestiges of that day were ever present, serving as a quiet reminder of the enduring impact of a single moment. Each time I encountered a situation that mirrored even a fraction of the emotions felt on that transformative day, a familiar sense of recognition washed over me. It was as if the memory had become a silent companion, offering reassurance and guidance in moments of decision, uncertainty, and reflection. The act of holding on to that one memory, despite its inherent sorrow, eventually unfolded into an acknowledgement of the integrative nature of human experience. In the interplay between memory and identity, I found solace and purpose. Life, with all its twists and turns, is an elaborate mosaic, and every memory is a meticulously placed tile contributing to the overall picture of who we are. There is an undeniable beauty in knowing that even the smallest moments are imbued with the power to change the course of our lives, to redefine our paths in ways both subtle and monumental. In the months following that fateful day, I began to document my thoughts and reflections, capturing my emotions through the written word. The pages filled with ink soon became a tapestry of feelings, a visual representation of the delicate balance between pain and growth. During this process, I recognized that memories, though transient by nature, have the ability to teach us about the continuity of the human spirit. They remind us that every end is, in truth, a new beginning, a prelude to fresh experiences that build on the lessons of the past. The narrative of my memory was not static. It evolved with me, providing a bridge between who I once was and who I have become. In embracing that powerful recollection, I found that the interplay of nostalgia and regret could be transformed into a narrative of hope and renewal. It was a journey of rediscovery, of confronting the fragments of my past with honesty and gratitude. I realized that the solitary memory was not a mere relic of bygone days but a dynamic testament to the ongoing process of personal evolution. Each time I revisited that memory, I extracted a new layer of understanding, gaining insights into my reactions, my dreams, and my resolve to become more mindful of every experience that life would offer. Reflecting on the memory with time had a gentle yet profound effect on my perspective. I came to understand that the heart does not weigh memories down in the sense of burden, but rather cradles them as delicate gifts, each one a part of a larger narrative that defines our existence. In the softness of recollection, there lies an exquisite tenderness, an awareness that every fragment of our past is valuable in its own right. Even the sorrowful notes, those tinged with regret, are threads in the intricate embroidery that makes us who we are. With each passing day, I learned to carry the weight of that single memory with grace, a reminder of both fragility and strength. In this reflective journey, the convergence of countless moments poured into a single, unforgettable experience emerged as an emblem of life's complexity. It served as a symbol of how our hearts capture fleeting moments with a permanence that transcends time. I came to appreciate that memories, much like the delicate strokes in a painting, create an ever-evolving masterpiece of our lives. They inspire us to pursue a deeper understanding of ourselves, to reconnect with the essence of our being, and to embrace the beauty of impermanence. Now, as I look back on the passage of time and trace the contours of that singular recollection, every element resonates with a vivid clarity that belies the years that have passed. It is a memory that, despite the pain of regret that occasionally accompanies it, shines with the luminance of revelation. The bittersweet token of my past continues to serve as a beacon, guiding me along paths of introspection and reflection. It affirms that even the most unassuming moments can lead to a profound transformation of our perspective, reminding us that life is, after all, a collection of these seemingly insignificant yet incredibly influential experiences. In essence, the weight of that single memory is not a heaviness that drags me down. Rather, it is the foundation upon which a deeper understanding of life is built. It is a constant reminder that every moment, no matter how small, carries the potential to redefine our sense of self and expand our capacity for empathy, resilience, and personal growth. The memory quietly teaches me that even in the shadows of regret, there is a brilliance, a glimmer of hope that emerges when we acknowledge the full spectrum of our emotions and embrace the truth that life, in all its complexities, is a continuous narrative woven by the threads of our experiences. Walking through the days that have followed, I find that the transformative impact of that solitary memory has prepared me for new chapters in my life. It has instilled in me a renewed courage to face the inevitable uncertainties and to cherish every fleeting moment as a precious note in the grand symphony of existence. The recollection remains etched in my heart, not as an anchor that binds me to the past, but as a gentle whisper that encourages me to live with openness, compassion, and gratitude. In the enduring interplay between memory and identity, I have discovered the profound truth that our lives are endlessly enriched by the moments that shape us, simple instances that carry within them the power to change everything. Thus, as I continue to traverse the winding road of life, I carry forward the legacy of that single, unforgettable memory. It is a legacy composed of hope, introspection, and the quiet realization that every experience, whether luminous or dark, contributes to the ever-evolving canvas of who we are. The narrative of my past transforms into a resilient strength for the future, affirming that even the most ephemeral moments hold a weight that far exceeds their fleeting nature. In this enduring truth, I find solace, inspiration, and a reminder that life, with all its mystery and wonder, is a graceful dance of memories and moments, a dance in which every step, even the quietest one, bears the power to redefine the realm of possibility. The journey through that singular memory has taught me that our existence is not determined solely by the grand events that we so often celebrate, but by the accumulation of every quiet, often unnoticed moment that touches our hearts. And so, I embrace the weight of this memory as both a lesson and a gift, A reminder that through the tender interplay of joy and sorrow, every single moment can become the catalyst for a life reimagined in a future defined by hope, understanding, and the enduring beauty of being alive.